Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh Craft and I sell used stuff on eBay. Today we're going to be talking about Facebook Marketplace and using that for sourcing, just kind of going over some tips. I had a pretty good purchase last week from there. I'll put a picture up over here, but I bought, it was some Kubota parts. I bought one part to Kubota. It was like a joystick thing for moving attachments around on the back. And then I got 100 manuals. They're all on CD though, so they take up a lot less space, but also a little less value than if they were actually printed manuals. But these are like workshop dealer manuals and repair manuals and lots of different things like that. So we got all that up. Really great stuff. Average listing price on those manuals was $20 plus shipping. And I listed all 100 of those in less than a day. So very, very great stuff. One picture of the front, very easy to find comps on, very easy to list. Sell-through rate on them was slow, which is to be expected, but you can't have everything when you're buying stuff like that. But anyways, paid $250 for everything. Should get $600 to $800 for the controller part, and then all the manuals is just bonus. But anyways, I want to talk a little bit about Facebook Marketplace, how you can use it to find stuff to sell on eBay. There's a couple of different ideas, but I got like 5 tips here. And yeah, let's just kind of talk about it. Anyways, tip number 1 is that there are basically 2 different methodologies to source on Facebook Marketplace. Number 1 is to be really fast. You are looking for things that people have underpriced, video games, CDs, collectibles, whatever you're selling. Usually these are hot things, popular things. Typically thinking of video games as the big thing, and that people are underpricing, and then you want to be the first one there, responding to them right away and getting that as soon as possible. You're wanting to leave to meet up with them right now as soon as they've listed it and get it before anybody else does. That's one way of sourcing. Not what I do. It doesn't really work out good for me and my lifestyle and my family, but that's an option. Second option is you want to be really patient and really slow. You want to kind of wait for things that people have had posted for months and months that they haven't been able to sell locally, that you know you can sell much better online, and kind of do things that way. That way you're almost kind of doing them a favor in a way of helping them get things sold that they can't sell locally. You can get a little bit better price for things that way, and you don't have to be as quick about meeting up. Maybe you can set a date for later in the week and meet them then. Schedule things out a little bit better. So that's kind of tip number 1, is you either need to be really fast or you need to be really patient. Yeah. Tip number 2 is use the save feature. Facebook Marketplace has 2 different save features. Number 1 is the save search, which if you are doing the really fast method, this is what you want to be doing. You want to be saving searches for whatever it is you're looking for, whatever it is you like to sell. Do some save searches for that and then check that regularly. Also just kind of checking Facebook Marketplace all the time in general, because that save search doesn't always work the best. Maybe sometimes people spell things wrong, or just it doesn't update right away. But using that save search can really help if you're trying to do that fast method. If you're being really patient, something I like to do is I like to, whenever I see an item that I think that's a good item for me, but the price isn't quite where I want it to be, I'll go ahead and just save that item to a folder or board or whatever they call it. I think they call them folders, but they might call them boards. Anyways, I save that item, and then every month, 2, 3 months, I'll go back in and look at those items. And if they're still available to sell and I'm still interested in, I will send an offer to that seller. And sometimes they've sold items, just haven't marked it as sold, but sometimes they're really ready to get rid of it because it's been sitting in their living room. They've been waiting on it to sell and they just want it gone. They want the space back. So I'll meet up with them, buy it, and get a great deal. So that's tip number 2. Use searches, whether that's the fast method of the save search or your slow method of saving your items and just kind of waiting a month or 2. Tip number 3 is a big one. It's one I used in this last situation with all that Kubota stuff, is look at what else they're selling. You can go to their profile and see other things that they are selling similar. I found the manuals originally and knew it was a great deal. Seen it had already been listed a while. But then I went to see what else they were selling. That's where I saw that joystick that they had listed for $250, joystick controller thing that sells really good. So I actually managed to pick it all up for $250, basically paid full price for the part, got all the manuals thrown in. Just a great way to do it. I just asked them what they would do on a bundle for everything. So yeah. look and see what else they're selling. You can either do that by going to their profile, or if you're kind of doing the quick method and you've already sent them messages, you can say, do you have anything else like this? If they've got 100 CDs that they're selling, you might ask, do you have any 8-tracks or cassettes or records? If they're selling any video games, you might ask if they have any more or any other sort of collectibles. So yeah, see what else they got. Make as much value out of that time you take to pick stuff up as possible, because that's kind of the downfall of Facebook Marketplace, having to meet up with people because people are flaky. It doesn't always work. So really try to maximize that time if possible by seeing what else they got for sale. It's usually if they've got one thing, they've got more, and take advantage of that. So that's tip number 3, see what else they're selling. 2 was looking at searches. Number 1 is be fast or be slow. And tip number 4 is get creative with what you're looking for. This works pretty good for me. I'm in kind of a smaller area. I'm not in a big metropolitan area, but there's a lot of stuff that just does not sell good locally here because it's too specific, and the seller is looking for a very specific buyer. Take, for instance, that Kubota part I picked up, a part to a Kubota tractor. The odds of finding somebody that needs that exact part right now is pretty low. It really needs to be sold in more of a national or even an international marketplace for it to sell better. And that's kind of what I focus on with Facebook Marketplace, is things that need a bigger marketplace to actually sell well. Very specific collectibles are like this. A lot of parts, car parts are like this. But yeah, you're looking for stuff like that. Usually stuff that is very specific, very niche, whichever word you want to use there. That's what I'm looking for. Stuff that's very general that anybody could use or anybody could enjoy. Not usually what I'm looking for on Facebook Marketplace, because I'm taking that kind of slow approach, looking for things that aren't selling. And a big part of that is just because they're selling it in the wrong place. You can't sell some of that stuff locally. A lot of that stuff needs a national or even an international marketplace to sell really, really well. And number 5 is there's more to Facebook than just Facebook Marketplace. There's a lot of buy, sell, trade groups that do really, really well depending on your area. And this is very, very area dependent, but wherever you are, go and join some of those groups. There's some people that'll just post on there instead of posting in Marketplace, and they don't get as many views. Not as many people see them, so go check those out. They're a great place to buy as well. Also, sometimes just individuals will have their own pages where they sell stuff. There's one lady back in my hometown. She's got a great page. Sells a ton of stuff. Very incredible, the stuff that she can sell. And there's stuff that I could never sell on eBay, but she can sell great on that local page. So sometimes individuals will even have their own pages where you can find absolutely great deals. So don't use Facebook just for the marketplace. If you're sourcing, use it for other things. I personally don't use Facebook Marketplace that much. I think this is my first deal on there all year, but it was just too good to pass up. And honestly, the reason for that is meeting up with people. It can be a pain, but if you're willing to do that work, it can definitely be worth it. As you saw in this last deal, $250. I'm over $2,000 in listings. I think I'm over $3,000 in listings from that. Absolutely great deal. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.